Hi, welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with more family meal ideas for you. This week it's very winter based, so warming dishes, and I've really tried to keep them on budget as well. Hopefully you get a little bit of inspiration from them. If you happen to be new around here, I do lots of videos like these, so I'll link any previous down below, but of course hit subscribe if you would like to see more. But let's get cracking and I'll show you what all we had. So first up, I'm using a whole pork fillet, and I'm going to use up some sausage meat which I picked up for 30p at Christmas and froze. I've got my breadcrumbs, some walnut, apricot, onions, mushrooms, and I'm going to make an apricot and walnut stuffing balls alongside the pork. So I've cooked my diced onions and mushrooms and put them in with the dry mixture and added in some herbs. Then I'm cooking off my sausage meat, and I want to drain away some of that fat. You need a little bit of it to keep the moisture in the stuffing, but we'll also be adding in some stock and egg to combine. Chopped nuts and apricots will go in, and then you want to give it a good mix. I tend to usually mix it with my hands and then form it into the little balls. With the little balls, I've put them in oven-proof dishes with butter, and I've also got a loaf as well, which I'll use as a meatloaf, which will be frozen. And then these are popped in the oven at the same time as my pork loin, which I've got sliced onions and seasoning on top. This will give moisture and a rich gravy. So once they come out, I've sliced it all down, add a little bit of gravy to keep the moisture, and those balls are so tasty. Just a simple dinner. I haven't went for crispy roast potatoes. They've just been sprayed with a very little bit of oil in the oven. The rich gravy with the onions, and then those little meatballs, and the pork is very filling. Just a nice twist on a normal Sunday dinner for us. For the next dinner, I am just using an inexpensive cut off ham. So this is a ham shank, and I've popped it in with all of my soup vegetables, lentils and barley, and this will give so much flavour. And once it comes out, I trim away all that fat. We don't need it, we just want all the shredded ham. This is great even in a sandwich or a salad, but I'm also going to just put this through the soup again to get that extra fullness and flavour. Give it a good mix through. Generally this is really nice if it's left on the hob for hours. This is us all plated up. The kids will go for 2 bowls, and they love to have toasted bagels and bacon sandwiches alongside it, and it just makes it a bit more of a dinner. And I've also got a little batch that I've been able to freeze. The next evening, I am just frying off some already made meatballs. I'll drain away that fat, and I'm going to add in some light coconut milk alongside some red Thai curry paste. I've got some green beans and a little bit of chilli if it needs it. So I'm cooking off my red Thai curry paste first of all. This takes away that real acrid taste, so I always do that first. Go in with my 2 cans of the coconut milk, and I also put a can's worth of water alongside it. I'll let it simmer and just give it a little bit of a whisk, and this will thicken it. Add in your meatballs to finish off cooking, and then 10 minutes before the green beans, and I still like them with a little bit of a crunch. I don't want them too soggy. This was a new recipe that I tried. I wasn't overly fussed on it, but the kids seemed to really enjoy it, so a nice one to try, but I don't think it'd be one of my favourites. Next up, I cooked a whole chicken, shredded down the chicken, and we're just having a really simple chicken dinner. I made some homemade chips and homemade chicken gravy alongside some peas, just a really quick simple one. With the rest of the shredded chicken, I'm going to use for a chicken pot pie at the weekend. The next evening, this is a dinner that my eldest son Dylan makes on his own a lot, so we're using pasta twists. We've got all the cheeses, cheddar cheese, mozzarella, we've got salami, pepperoni, tin tomatoes, pepper, garlic and seasoning with a little oven dish. And this is basically a pizza pasta dish, or that's what my kids call it anyway. So we cook down the peppers, and I've got my pasta bubbling away. Adding in 2 tins of tomatoes. So I'm going for 2 tins of tomatoes because I'm actually going to keep half of this batch as a nice pizza topping, so it's a great alternative to your pizza sauces. And this will just cook down, and then I add in my seasoning. So I'm going for Italian oregano, thyme, and then some fresh basil. When I'm making a pasta sauce, I always do like to try and get some fresh herbs in there. I definitely think it gives it a better taste. So 10 minutes more, this will wilt down, cook away. You can either hand blend it, but we quite like the chunkiness of it. I tasted it and realised I forgot the tomato puree, so I'm adding that in alongside a little bit more pepper. You could add some heat if you want to at this stage. So the pasta is drained and I've popped it into 2 dishes. I've also snipped some of the pepperoni to put throughout the dish. And then I've added in the tomato. So you can see this one isn't too saucy, the other is very saucy. The largest dish is for the youngest boys, and they love some melted cheese all throughout it as well, so you can get away with a bit more heat from the salami. And then the fun part, you just top the pasta how you wish. I went for sliced mozzarella, grated cheese, and then some salami on the top. I also like a little bit of sweet corn, so you can play around with this, or a little pepperami is a great shortcut as well. And this is it after about 10 minutes in the oven. It comes out all bubbling. I've actually made this ahead, and Granny will pop it on later, heat it through, and serve it with some dough balls. So it's really, really inexpensive, perfect one for student, or like I said, kids to cook on their own. And finally, with all the leftover shredded chicken from the roast, I have sauteed down some bacon lardons alongside some leeks, and I'm going to use some chicken stock, tarragon. I've got my chicken, my cream cheese, and also some sweet corn, and basically this is all together in one pot, so it's very easy. I dust my chicken in flour, and alongside the butter that naturally thickens, creating a roux, and adding in some cream cheese and some whole grain mustard with the tarragon, you get a bit more flavour and punch in it. I've used up some sweet corn and leeks, but you can put any fillings in this. And so this is us all plated up. It looks extremely beige, but admittedly everyone really enjoys this, having it separate in their little pie dishes, the youngest boys. And then we've got some sauteed green cabbage, and we're having it with the flaky puff pastry. And then we've got cheesy broccoli gratin. That's my husband's, he's got a big portion, but we've got loads more on the hob as well. And we definitely prefer it this way opposed to in a short crust pastry. It definitely goes down well, and it's a great way to use up leftover chicken if you have any. As always, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Do make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that little notification bell. But thank you very much for watching.